this is Mr. Sparrowhawk. We are going to be playing through our Standard of Excellence book, page 7 today, starting with number 8 on the flute. And I'm going to give you some little tips and pointers along the way. So get your flute out and let's get ready to do this. Here we go. Number 8 is our first song. It's got 2 whole notes in a row. And there's a breath mark marked in the middle, so this is the first time we've seen a breath mark in this book. And on the flute, because there's so much air that goes just sort of out over the instrument, we're going to go ahead and use that breath mark, and I'm going to use it pretty consistently throughout. I would say the older you get and the more experience you get and the better you get at breathing and lasting a little bit longer, the more likely I would say to leave out the breath mark. And on certain other instruments, it's not hard to do without the breath mark because they have more resistance on their instruments. This instrument has no resistance at all. So the air, whether it's getting used or not, is gone very quickly. So here we go, number 8, a breath of fresh air.
1, 2, ready, play.
Okay, I went ahead and left the breath mark out that time. I went in and tried to last the full amount of time just to see if I could do it, and I did okay with it. But again, I think if you're a beginner, you need to stick with taking the breath, and I'll do that on this next one, number 9, where we're now changing notes. So not only are we taking the breath there, we have to make sure when we come back in that our fingers are there before we start the air for the second note of each pair. Otherwise, you end up getting da-da, and getting a second note in there that's not supposed to be there. So let's give this one a try. Number 9.
Number 9, side by side. 1, 2, ready, play.
Okay, let's go ahead and look at number 10 now. Same basic principle as number 9. We'll take that breath and we'll use our tongue and come back in and make sure our fingers are in the right place at the right time. So let's try it out. Number 10. This one starts on a C.
1, 2, ready, play.
Okay, number 11. We're going to talk about keeping the air moving and then using your tongue to separate into notes. So you're going to get basically on with our 3 half notes. These are the first half notes we've seen. Half notes are 2 counts each. So 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 2 is 6. That's 6 counts, 3 half notes in a row that we want to keep the air moving. Okay, so it's kind of like taking your breath. Difference is we're going to use our tongue to separate every other count. So we start on count 1 with the tongue. We're going to hit our tongue on count 3, hit it again on count 5. Okay, let's try that. So it goes. Okay, and then when you stop the air, remember we're not using our tongue actually to stop the air at the end. We just kind of want it to instantly stop. Some people like to say maybe take a breath in, and that may help. But if you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. Just make sure that it stops, okay? And don't use your tongue to to put it to a stop like that, okay? All right, so let's try Half the Price. Lots of repeated notes. Also, don't get stuck in the pattern, because right at the end, the rhythmic pattern changes. So keep your eyes on the notes. Make sure that you're tracking left to right as you play each note, okay? Number 11, Half the Price.
Number 11, half the price.
1,
1, 2, ready, play.
Okay, number 12. On this one, we're going to be going into a little bit more of a melody than anything we've done so far. Some moving stuff happening with our 3 notes, and so it's going to mostly move stepwise up and down from note to note. And stepwise just kind of means like from the bottom to the middle note, from the middle to the top note, right? Top note to the middle note to the bottom note. Those are all steps. If you were to go bottom to top, that's a skip. Top to bottom, that's a skip, okay? And another way to think of it is when you're looking at the staff, it's going from a line to a space or a space to the next line, okay? Either up or down. So we're stepping up and down. It's kind of like walking up and down steps. And if you remember the notes in that order, this being B flat being our lowest note, C being our middle note, and D being our high note for now, then you start thinking about it in terms of steps, up and down, up and down. And then occasionally you'll see a skip and you'll go, oh my gosh, a skip. And you'll have to go from a low note to a high note or a high note to a low note. And so then you get better at moving your fingers in that way, back and forth, okay? So here's Cardiff by the Sea, number 12. Track those notes, follow the rhythms, follow the notes as best you can.
Number 12,
Here we go.
Cardiff by the Sea. 1,
One,
2, ready, play.
Okay, and I think I cut my last note off a little bit too soon there, didn't I? So be careful about stuff like that. I'm not going to go back and redo the song, but that's a whole note, so it should get the full 4 counts. I was trying to play it from memory, and that's the problem with not tracking the notes and watching and trying to learn to read better, is that it's hard to memorize everything. I don't have every song in the book memorized, only about half. So you got to keep your eyes on the music, okay? And even if you do have something memorized, it's good to keep them there anyway, just to practice, because some people are just really good at memorizing, and you may memorize something first, but when you go back and play it again, practice following those notes and get good at that too. It's 2 different skills, right? Memorizing and reading music. Okay, here's number 13. We have 2 parts here. There's an A and a B part. And we'll do the A part first, and I believe the recording will play the B part while we're playing the A part. Then it switches up, and we do the B part while the recording plays the A part. So let's give it a try. Again, keep your eyes on the notes. This time I'll do a little better job of keeping the whole notes, and half notes if I can. A part first.
1, 2, ready, play.
Here's the B part.
This time, you play the B part while listening to the A part. 1, 2, ready, play.
Okay, this last song on the page, number 14, is one I like to use as a quiz or a pass-off or a chair challenge type of a song. It's the first time where we not only have like a melody happening, where we're mixing up our notes in different ways, but we also have a rhythmic variance that we haven't had, okay? Most of the time we have a whole note and then a whole rest, and a whole note and a whole rest, or 3 half notes, 3 half notes, 3 half notes. Now we have some different things happening, and you have to really keep your eye on the music, both for the tones that you're playing, the pitches, as well as for the rhythms that you're playing, the tas, right? So keep your eyes on the page, again, as always. And if you have trouble with this one, then I would say go back and play songs that you're familiar with and practice that, keeping your eyes on the music, tracking the notes. Here we go, number 14.
Go for excellence.
1, 2, ready, play.
Okay, I hope you've had fun. This has been nice, and we will do it again on page 8. Okay, we'll see you on the next page. Bye.